been exploring the what I call the magic G chord. There's so many things you can do with this chord, and it's so much fun. And what I think is really valuable, if you're an absolute beginner or just getting going on guitar, this chord is not that hard to play, whether you play it this way or the way I've been suggesting it, which is the B3, third finger, tuck the pinky under, E3, and you get, it's kind of a nice chime. We've talked about how you can move from here to here, just going to a C add 9, back and forth. It's already pretty cool sounding. And if you move that up to D, which is just your first finger landing on the second fret of the G string, you haven't really had to move that much. But you're covering a lot of territory sonically. And you can definitely get a song out of that. And you don't have to do it in any particular order. You could do G, D, C too. The other chords that we've explored along the way in the key of G, we worked on a kind of a cool F chord where we let the we did a partial F where we start on the D, third fret on the D string, third finger, let the G ring out, which is part of the magic of the G, and then we bar the C and F note, first fret, B and E string. It has a great sound. And then we walked it down, half step. You've heard that before. Which is basically going from an F to a C. Back to your G. And then we added, I think last time we added an E minor, so we just walked down. We went on the third fret of the low E, second fret, and then to an E minor. So you'll notice that E minor is the relative minor to G. We have a similar, they go together, right? It doesn't matter why, we're not going to worry about any of that stuff. We're just having fun right now. So my goal with teaching this magic G chord stuff is to give you some tools to use, give you a little vocabulary of what you can do in the key of G, first position, and have fun with it. So what I want to add to that now is, well, we got a G, we got a D, we got a C, we got the F, and the E minor. Let's add, just for fun, let's add one other chord to that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the G to the C. Now this is a different way to play a D. You can just slide up. I'm trying to make this really easy. I like that voicing. So let's say we go from a G to a C. And we don't want to go to this D, although that's fine. D sus to a D major. You can just go to that C and now just slide up 2 frets. Okay? You probably don't want to play the B and the E string on this particular exercise because it sounds better if you just hit 3 strings. Kind of mysterious. Now, if you want to do it one other way, you can go from a G, if you're comfortable, to a standard C, just a regular old C. Now, if you move that one up with that fingering, sounds pretty cool. So we've got a G chord, a C chord, and then this is a version of D. So now I'm going to give you an example. I'm just going to play through all those different chords, spell them out, play them, and I'm just going to kind of randomly move through it. C, hammer on, G, walk down to E minor. Do the little F walk down. Back to your G. Okay, now we're going to go from a C to that cool D. G guy. So that's an example of, I did 3 little lessons there, the Magic G chord, version 1, 2, and 3. And finally, what I wanted to mention, and I did mention this in my last version, if for whatever reason you're having trouble singing in the key of G, and this is something that you can use in general, this is a little thing called a capo. And I suggest using these, especially if you're a singer. I think it's also important, having said that, that we learn the chords up and down the neck. But the most important thing, I think, when you're first getting with guitar, and I know for me anyway, is to learn songs and have fun, play with other people. And if I could go back and you know, mention a few things that I learned along the way, that would be one of them. But let's say, for instance, I want to play in the key of C, and we're going to cover this in detail later. I'm going to put this on the 5th fret, okay? And you don't really have to worry about the theory of this right now. But just know that what we're really doing is moving the nut, which is this, all the way up to the 5th fret. So even though it looks like a G chord, same form and everything, it's actually a C because you've moved everything up. So different sound though, huh? I'm playing the same parts I was playing, but yet it sounds totally different. And that's because it's in the key of C, and C sounds different than G. Even though I'm playing the same. Now we'll do that little C to that D movement. That's just, to me, that's a really cool sound. So what was G is now C, but you're playing the same forms, the same shape chords and everything, getting a totally different sound. And if vocally you need to move around, feel free to use that capo anytime. And it's going to take you into a different key, but yet you get the same sound. You still get the advantage of having the open strings and everything. So back to good old G. There's that cowboy. So I hope you enjoyed this little exploration into G. I call it the Magic G chord. George Harrison did too. He used it a lot. And we'll see you down the road.